Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ritesh Marot, currently serving as the president of Rotary Club of Nairobi. This year, we celebrate the 90th anniversary of this very prestigious Rotary Club, also known in the region as the Mother Club of Rotary in Eastern Central Africa, as well as the flagship club of Rotary in Eastern Central Africa. And in order to celebrate our 90th anniversary, we are going to have a conversation with a series of our past presidents and senior Rotarians. And today, I'm very glad to say with us is our past president, Mr. Omi Nagpal. And with us on this interview today, or call today, is Rashmi Chug and Dr. Margaretta Wa Gacheru. So I will now hand over to Dr. Margaretta, who will introduce and officially carry out the Q&A session with our past president, Omi Nagpal.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, President Ritesh. And I'd love to congratulate, I'd love to congratulate Senior Council, Omi Nagpal, because it's an honor to our club, and we congratulate you most wholeheartedly. And so thank you for your service to Kenya, and your stand for integrity and truth and justice. But now I'd like to ask you, first of all, when did you join the Rotary Club of Nairobi?
I joined the Rotary Club of Nairobi. Well, I joined Rotary in 1965 in Mombasa.
Oh, wow. In Mombasa.
I was stationed there at that time as Senior Crown Counsel. We were not independent then. 62. I was.
62.
I joined the civil service as Senior Crown Counsel. And then in 64, I was stationed at Mombasa. And there I joined the Rotary Club. We used to meet Tudor, there was a hotel on Tudor Beach. That's where we used to have our lunches. And that's where I first met P.D. Ahmed, who was also a member there then in Mombasa. And then I came to Nairobi after a few years and back to Nairobi sometime in the 60s. I joined Nairobi Club.
Well, tell us.
Yes,
when did you become president, or perhaps at that time you became a chairman? Because I know the Kenya government said that there was only one president, President Kenyatta. So what was your...
I became chairman in 1990. Just as we are now celebrating the 90th anniversary, we celebrated the 60th anniversary during my chairmanship.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we had a gala event at, it was actually at...
where was it?
Serena Hotel.
Oh,
At the Serena Hotel.
Yes.
And had all the four chairmen of the other clubs in Nairobi, I think were 4 or 5 clubs then.
Oh, wow.
We had all the PDGs. And there was Ken Jocelyn, who was with us. He was a routine in Nairobi, and a PDG. He was the main guest. And we had a wonderful time. Celebrated the 60th anniversary of the founding of our club. I do not I don't think we have followed that tradition after that. I don't think we celebrated the 70th or the 80th anniversary, but I'm glad we are celebrating the 90th.
Well, I attribute this sense of celebration to our President Ritesh, and we're very grateful to
what a year we are having.
Yes, and we want to have a legacy statement, including people like yourself who have made outstanding contributions both to the club and the country. Could you tell us, during that year of presidency, what are some of the highlights? For example, you mentioned the gala.
Yes.
Were there other exciting moments that you watched or witnessed, or projects that happened?
Well, I'll say this, we had an extremely good series of speakers at our monthly, weekly luncheons of exceptional caliber. And every meeting was very exciting. Speakers like we have them now, good events. And we had many projects which were very significant and contributed, I think, a great deal to the country.
Can you remember one of the projects that struck you as being valuable?
I can remember several. There was one was a wheelchair distribution program. Was under the aegis of Rotary Foundation. It was called the Wheelchair Foundation. The wheelchairs were provided by Rotary International. The person in charge of this project was, of course, PP Salim Fazl. And
wow.
On the average, two to three wheelchairs a week at a meeting.
Wow.
Recipients, we will call them for lunch at our expense. And then during the meeting, I would present them with the wheelchair. So I think that was a particularly useful project. I can name two or three others.
Really?
Yes.
Very exciting, yes. Very valuable and practical. Wonderful. Well, are there others that you can remember?
Sorry?
Are there any others that you also found important?
We had the water project, which was also under the charge of P.P. Salim Fazl, who was very active, has always been very active Rotarian. And
yes, he's wonderful.
It was funded by a German Rotary Club. And under this program, we did water tanks to rural areas, various institutions. But I think our project we had was the really important one, I think, was importation of medical equipment, which by a Rotarian who's now left the country. His name is Omi Nagpal. He had the Rotary Club of Bristol. And the Rotary Club get us used equipment, but functioning, all in order, functioning equipment, and it'll come to Kenya in containers. And we would distribute it to various hospitals. Used equipment, but perfectly working order. But
great.
Hospitals in England had replaced them for newer models. But these were functioning machines. There were
wonderful
operation theater chairs, beds. There were other equipment found in operating theaters. And of course, there were X-ray machines and things like that. A lot of medical equipment, instruments, instruments. And we did it for 2 years or so. The government suddenly decided that they wanted to impose import duty on it. And we pleaded the great government to waive it because this was charitable work. They said, you're not the charity, so we can't do it. So that's
Did
Yes,
you have to pay?
that stopped because of that. But it was a very good project. I remember going to hospitals with a truckload of equipment.
Yes.
I remember the whole day I spent at Kajabi Hospital, where I had taken a whole container full of medical equipment.
Wow.
So
Wonderful.
that was a very interesting project.
Fabulous.
Project, as I said, was stopped because of this unfortunate attitude on the part of the taxman. There were others. There was,
Oh dear.
had a school for the handicapped in Malaysia, where we started work for the handicapped children. And we had a professional in the UK who trained them in their work, which was to not manufacture. Manufacture is more on an assembly line basis, but to make traditional African jewelry from wire and bead.
Oh.
And this was a very good project that sustained them the training and gave them some money apart from the education receiving at this in Malaysia.
So you helped to train them?
Sorry?
You helped to train the
Yes.
children?
This specialist, this person, trained them how to make and designed some too, following the jewelry patterns. And
oh, wonderful.
it went on. It was an ongoing project for some years after I ceased to be chairman.
Fantastic.
But it came to a sad end ultimately because there was massive theft of money.
Because why?
By some of the staff.
What it cost?
And it really became a liability. And I think the thing was sorted out only recently, so many years after.
Oh dear.
Yes, but while it lasted, it provided some sort of livelihood for these handicapped children, gave them, and we were able to sell their products very easily to tourists. We were then flocking to Kenya in large numbers, unlike today. But that was the heyday of tourism, and it was a very, very good venture, but it also came to an end.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, the training and the sales.
Projects, yes.
That's amazing. Well, tell me, what do you feel has been the greatest benefit that you have received working with the Rotary Club of Nairobi? The benefits.
Nobody does or should
being
join.
a Rotarian.
Nobody does or should join Rotary to derive any benefit. But let me put it this way, that the beneficial fallout from being a Rotarian is absolutely amazing in the sense that you have a ready-made family, as it were, where you can attend a luncheon, whether you're in America or anywhere, and people are friendly, and they will entertain you outside the Rotary meeting. It's been a great journey for me. I can't imagine life without Rotary, honestly. But I think that
have you traveled and attended Rotary clubs elsewhere?
Oh, yes. I used to be a very frequent traveler. I came back to private practice in 1977. And no, 71. And in the course of my business, I used to travel a lot, especially to UK, quite a lot, twice or thrice to India. And I did meetings everywhere, you know. Usually it shows at the airport lobby when the meeting takes place. And,
oh, wow.
And I used to attend. It was great fun.
Oh,
I think I made a great number of friends in various countries I traveled to.
oh, that's wonderful.
That has been a very big benefit. It has enriched my life. And from your own club, you get so much love and affection and care. They look after you. If you're not there, they inquire after you. If you're celebrating something, they join in. So it's a nice feeling, isn't it? So you
Oh,
felt
that's
it since you
wonderful.
went.
Are there any other benefits that you can imagine? I mean, global travel and meeting Rotarians, that's wonderful.
Well, I'm not quite sure what you mean by benefits. I mean, there can never be any financial.
What about your fondest memories of being with Rotary? Yes. Not just as a president, but through your years.
Every major event becomes a memory. Not only when you're president or chairman, but even otherwise. There are many memorable events one remembers during my of the Rotary Club, both in Mombasa and here. Particularly we were 40 of us traveled together from Kenya, Rotarians from Kenya, to Seoul in Korea, South Korea, to attend the convention, Rotary Convention.
Oh, yes. Have you attended any Rotary conventions?
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about. We attended one in 1989, in Korea, in Seoul.
Oh, in Seoul.
We were a group of 40 Rotarians from Kenya, various clubs, Mombasa, Kisumu, Kuru, the lot. And we combined it with the holiday to Japan. And, en route back, we stopped in New Delhi. Then we went to Thailand in the same trip. And that is a really trip. It was beautiful. We spent, I think, about 3 weeks out there holidaying. And of course, the convention was a few days. Very, very good convention. The convention hall was the location where the Olympics took place.
Oh, wow.
And they had this brand new hall and brand new building and a huge convention hall, which was for their event, Olympic event. But it came in very handy, very appropriate.
Oh, fantastic.
It was a great trip.
Well, that in itself is a marvelous lifetime memorable moment for sure.
I have still not forgotten
3 weeks with 40 Rotarians from Kenya.
Yes, we stopped in various places. As I said, I remember we also went to Singapore en route and stopped there for 2 nights or 3 nights. We had a very good experience. It was a
marvelous.
I still have memories of it as if it happened yesterday, fresh in my mind.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. You've shared marvelous experiences with Rotary as a past president and as a fellow Rotarian. We're so pleased. Now, Ritesh or Rashmi might have another question to ask. I think the ones that I had asked you are the ones that we had thought about. If either of them would like to ask a question, I'd be so happy.
Can I ask something to Mr. Omi Nagpal?
Yes,
Yes,
Pastor.
Rashmi.
Yes,
Yes.
actually, Misty, just a minute. I have always, like Mr.
Your
Omi
voice
Nagpal
has
was the
faded.
first.
Your voice has faded. Could you start again, please?
So you were the first person I met, before I joined Rotary.
Oh,
And I
yes.
think as a person, you were an example of the kind of people I started meeting once I really joined. However, there was a very interesting question that Margaretta asked, is that she asked you, did you benefit from joining Rotary? I loved your answer where you said that it's not a benefit, it's something you do to become part of a community and serve society as a whole. But lately, the members I meet and even some of the meetings that we attend, there is always that what you can gain from Rotary. And even I've seen some posters which advocate that this is what you gain from Rotary. Do you think somewhere the club is going in a direction which is different from what it was when you had joined and when you were heading it?
Well, yes, I think so. If what you tell me is true, then we are definitely departing from our principles, because one of the things I always bear in mind, and I was told to bear in mind, and was exhibited very clearly by those who interviewed me when I joined Rotary Club, was that I was not joining to benefit from the club. That nobody would join the club because they think they'll get clientele or they will get business. That's the wrong motivation. The only motivation should be desire to serve. And if people are now advertising the benefits of joining a Rotary, then that is a Rotary Club, then I think there is something amiss there, for sure.
Do you think it's a function of the fact that we are trying to attract a younger and younger audience, and they do not get triggered by the norms that the early Rotarians would?
I'm not sure I got that. Your sound is not very clear.
I wanted to ask that, is it something to do with the fact that we are trying to get the younger people to join in as Rotarians? How old were you when you joined a Rotary?
Oh, 65, born in 33. You can work out 25 or something like that.
And you joined with the idea of wanting to serve.
I was born in 33. So I was 30 years old, I think, thereabouts.
Okay.
But I think for people to join because they expect to benefit is wrong. But if they join for the right reason, and for them the beneficial fallout is that they've also met people who have given them business, that's a different thing. But to join with that intention would be to join Rotary for the wrong reason.
So in today's context, what do you think is the right reason to join Rotary?
Well, when I interview people, I ask them why are they joining, and I quite often ask them, you're not joining because you think you're going to get clients or patients or whatever that it may be, and they're all very adamant, no, not at all, I'm here to serve the community. That's all I asked you those questions when I interviewed you. You remember?
Yes. Actually, that was, sorry, please go on.
Yes, it's unfortunate
Yes,
that
and me too.
it happening now, but I've been doing this job for many, many years, I tell you, and we have tried to make sure, at least I have tried to make sure that nobody joins this motivation.
Actually, that leads me to my next question. I wanted to ask you, when you interview, and you interviewed me, and I think you interviewed Margaretta also. Margaretta, were you interviewed by Omi sir?
I think so.
Yes, we had a wonderful interview.
Yes, and so did I. Like, I remember him taking me around the garden and the terrace, and it was a beautiful meeting. But I want to ask you, what is it that you
Yes.
were looking for? And have you, what is it that you were trying to find when you were meeting us for the first time?
Well,
And I guess that is what you seek in a Rotarian.
I was looking for 3 or 4 things primarily. One was, are you rightly motivated to join? What is your reason for joining Rotary Club?
Mhm.
And sometimes that can be evidenced in some cases by your previous activities. Done any charitable work, or whether you're involved in any society that does charitable work. That's one. And then I asked point blank, what is your motivation? Why do you want to join the club? And if I find that the answer is not very convincing, then there is something to worry about. But now I think most people have claimed that they're purely for altruistic reasons and to serve the country and society, and they are people who have a desire to do charitable work. I think that's one thing I look for. The second thing I want to look and I carefully is the candidate is the sort of person who will be able to get on with 50, 60 people of different points of view, racial mix, whether they will be able to fit in seamlessly, as it were, with the rest of the membership and really contribute some extra bit to the friendship and family feeling we have in the Rotary family already. And I find, like you, both of you, you have contributed a great to the club. You're very sociable. You want to work. You want to assume responsibility. Those are the things we look for. But it's sometimes you get the wrong person, in the sense that I have seen people join very enthusiastically, and 2 years down the line, they stop coming to the club. And jolt their memory and remind them that they said they were joining the club to do service, and we haven't seen them so many weeks. And then some come back and some. So it's obvious that either they have changed since they joined, or I misread them. Somebody else who interviewed them misread their character and intention. But it doesn't happen very often. Hasn't happened lately.
Thank you so much, and I'm sure Margaretta is as thrilled as I am that we are still getting a good report from someone like you. Why I would like to ask you, what
Yes.
is it that you would like us to do in the coming year? You know, there must be things that you want Ritesh to do, our President Ritesh to lead, or there must be certain objectives that you want us to tick the boxes for. Because as newer members, we would love to do what you have in your mind, or that you would like to see executed
I
in
think
this year towards the
we are
90th.
already doing it, but we can always, now it's only a question of increasing the number of that we contribute to by our effort. Of course, money-wise, we don't do that, not very much, but by our efforts, we take on more projects which are worthwhile. Like there is always something happening in every country. Like now, we've seen how food has been distributed to those who required it. And there's been a great effort made by so many Rotarians. We see it every day. I think the main thing is to play it by ear and do what is necessary at any given time. Take on a project asking you to be taken over. like, as I said, people in need in Nairobi, and because of Corona, they've lost their jobs, they have no occupation, short of money, no prospects. You can give them food, at least one of their basic needs is satisfied. So I think this is not something you can predetermine. It, as life progresses in the country, things happen, new opportunities arise, you can serve the public. And I think we should use those opportunities and do what we actually joined the Rotary Club for, to serve people. That's what I think. I forecast what you should do because we do not know what the needs of society will be as we progress. Is my view, basically.
Yes. Wonderful. Well, I think that's an endorsement of our president, Ritesh. He's doing a great deal for servicing our club and our community.
Absolutely. I think the club is backing him in every step he takes. It's really become a great club, though numbers are not what they used to be. And when I was president or chairman, we had, I had a ceiling of 110, but there were 20 people in the pipeline.
Oh, wow.
So 110 is what we want to start at. And then, of course,
wow.
Now I think, how many are we?
Yes, 70. We are 70.
70.
Well, that's not bad. It's, the size of the club doesn't matter so much. It's the enthusiasm and the fire in your belly to do what needs to be done. You know, and I think there's plenty of that in our club.
Yes. Yes. Well, I think Ritesh is rallying the troops,
Yes.
making it a lot more fun.
Yes, Ritesh, if I may say so, you're doing an excellent job.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Senior Counsel and Past President Omi. I want to thank you for actually guiding me along the way. In my last couple of years in the Rotary Club of Nairobi, there are many instances when I've actually come to you for guidance. And more importantly, I'm very grateful that you're still interviewing the members at our club, which is very important. Coming back to the point which Rashmi raised, it's a very valid point that, you see, Rashmi has been exposed to what's happening on the district level and also internationally in the Rotary sphere, where there's constant advertising in order to attain greater membership. But the one thing which we are very proud of at Rotary Club of Nairobi is that in Rotary Club of Nairobi, we have never actually advertised that this is what you get from Rotary. It's more or less still that one-on-one connect where members who are dedicated Rotarians still actually carefully reach out to potential Rotarians and try to groom them before actually submitting them or getting them to your doorstep for an interview. Like I say, you're the gatekeeper at our club when it comes to membership, and I'm very grateful. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. It's been a great session.
Yeah, this is wonderful. What a wonderful interview. Thank you so much for making yourself available.
Thank you.
Yes,
so nice seeing everybody. Bye.
Good night. Good night.
Yes, goodbye. Have a lovely evening.
You too, all of you.